What does successful property management mean to you, the Fayetteville, North Carolina property investor? What things should a landlord who wants to manage their own property look out for? I compiled a list of 7 tips to keep you on track, so you could take a seat, listen up, and let's get started. Hi, I'm Larry Hutton, a retired military lawyer, licensed attorney, and the CEO of Linchpin Property Management. Today I'm going to discuss with you 7 thoughts on successful property management for landlords and investors. This list is part of a bigger series, and I suggest you sign up for our weekly newsletter where we provide you with the best educational resources to manage your property. So, as a real estate investor, what you have to consider is your goal is to make money through rental income, appreciation of your investment property, and profits generated by other business activities that depend on the property. The realized benefits of investing in property include that there are passive income streams, you have a stability of cash flow, a diversification of investments, and the ability to leverage capital for other investment opportunities. While there are many opportunities in real estate property investment, it can also prove to be a mistake if you do not fully understand the best practices and procedures necessary to make the management of your property a success. So here are a few tips to begin setting you up for success. Tip 1, can you rent the property that you are about to purchase? It may come as a surprise to you, especially if you are a first-time real estate investor, that you may not be able to rent the property you just purchased or that you are about to purchase. While there are usually a few restrictions on single-family homes, prior to purchasing a condominium or a house that is part of a homeowners association could possibly lead to problems when attempting to lease your real estate property investment. Sometimes an HOA will place restrictions on the percentage of properties that can be rented out versus those that are owner occupied. What this means is that only a percentage of the properties can have renters in them. The remaining must be owner occupied. Some HOAs even go so far as expressly prohibiting renting out of your property at all. What this means for the property investor is that a property that is part of an HOA with these particular covenants will more than likely not be a good property to invest in. You could end up with your property empty and have to wait for clearance from the HOA before you can begin turning a profit. This is an extremely costly mistake you don't want to make. Always be sure to read the covenants and HOA bylaws before you purchase a property, whether for investment purposes or otherwise. Tip 2, leave the spoken word to poetry night. You know the saying, a pen is mightier than a sword? The same is true in real estate. Every single detail of your property management with your tenant should be in writing. Despite common belief, you are not required to have anything in writing to form a contract for the lease or management of your property. In fact, everything can be done orally. But as you can imagine, this is a headache waiting to happen. In our over 35 years of real estate, property management, and legal experience, we've come across numerous property investors when asked for a copy of a lease didn't have any lease in place, even for long-term tenants. Although the default lease will be constructed by the courts using the applicable laws, this practice does not protect you as a property investor. Tip 3, have a plan in place to deal with financial issues. As a property investor, you must have cash on hand to deal with issues that arise. Unlike other ventures, to be successful with real estate investing, you are required to have a greater amount of capital assets, even if you only have one investment property. Financial issues, however, are not limited to repairs and maintenance on your investment property. As property managers, we can appreciate the vast number of opportunities that are available to real estate property investors in the area. As an investor, you must ensure that as you gain properties, you adequately budget cash flow and time to evaluate opportunities that may come up. Failure to plan in advance for those inevitabilities will result in missed opportunities in the future. For investors looking to expand their portfolio, we recommend saving at least 25% of your rents in a separate fund tied to a separate LLC to prepare for future opportunities. Additionally, keeping cash on hand does not only apply to investors with multiple properties or those that want multiple properties. The same advice applies to property investors who own one property, as the identified cost that we just talked about, and particularly maintenance costs, will soon add up. Tip 4, inspect, correct, and inspect again. Frequent inspections of your property are absolutely critical if you want to maintain and increase the value of your asset and have a steady flow of cash. When you have a property management company manage your properties, this is easily done. Your property should be inspected at least every quarter. And at Linchpin Property Management, we do our inspections differently than any other property management company. We provide a detailed report which includes pictures or videos of your property, and the report will be distributed to you by us within 48 hours of it being documented. This provides you with the knowledge that your property has been inspected and that your asset is our top priority. As a practical matter, don't wait until the move-out inspection to inspect your property. This is a disaster waiting to happen. Tip 5, proper tenant placement. One of the jobs of a property management company is to ensure tenants are placed in properties which fit their needs as well as their ability to meet the obligations contained in the lease agreement. As a real estate investor, if you don't utilize a property management company, this is also a consideration that you must strongly adhere to. Your first understanding should be that every tenant is not suitable for your property, but there are properties suitable for particular tenants. This is notwithstanding any illegal discriminatory housing practices. What we are referring to is the fact that there are many tenants who, among other things, will not meet the income threshold to rent your property, tenants that have pets which are not service or support animals, tenants with a number of occupants that exceed your investment property's capacity, and also, finally, tenants who have an extremely unfavorable rental or credit history. What proper tenant placement means is to ensure that the tenant you decide to lease to has the potential to be with you for the long term. If you have multiple properties in your portfolio, then you may have other properties to offer a tenant if the tenant does not qualify for the one that they desire. If you only manage one or a few, don't be afraid to turn a tenant away. Compromise never ends well and will ultimately have an effect on your cash flow and bottom line. Tip 6, just in case, get insurance. One of the things that is often overlooked by property investors is the need to have insurance. I am not referring to just general homeowners insurance, but insurance to protect every aspect of your investment. Remember, you are now a business owner. Your investment property should be a separate and distinct entity from you. The structure surrounding it should be just as separate and distinct. Your goal should be to protect and shield all of your personal assets in the event something goes wrong. This fact applies wherever you have whether you have one property or multiple properties in your portfolio. Your risk and other investment property insurance should be structured to shield you from lawsuits by tenants for injuries, legal action brought as a result of violating any housing laws, vandalism of the property, or destruction of the property. Some insurance policies will even go so far as to protect against lost cash flow. Tip 7 is business, never personal. As a property investor, you have to understand that you are running a business first. Generally speaking, many property investors perform horribly at maintaining a distinction between their business and personal dealings. And in fact, most landlords and property investors do not treat their investments as a business at all. Some questions for you. Did you form a separate business entity in your state? Did you have your business registered in the state? Did you have or do you have a separate bank account for your business? Do you have a separate operating and trust account for your business? Are the documents that are used when you're transacting business with the tenants reflective of your business entity or you as a person? These are a few of the things that truly make you a business entity and separate and distinct from yourself. The way you treat your business will be an overall reflection of how your operation is run. While none of this is necessary, it serves to provide you and your business with a sense of professionalism, and in turn, you will be treated and feel like a professional. And here's bonus tip number 8. Get help early and often. These best practices apply whether you own one or multiple properties. The responsibilities of a real estate property investor extend far beyond merely collecting rent. While arguably rent collection is the most important, as this is the lifeblood of your cash flow, it should not form the only foundation in setting yourself up for success in your long-term investment strategy. At Linchpin Property Management, we have written a blueprint for our landlords and property investors to ensure that they are set up for success. The good news is we provide this resource to you regardless of whether you use our services or not. It is our belief that the more educated investors are, the better it is for everyone around. As a landlord and property investor, you can assess our resources on our website. If you have questions or would like to discuss how we can assist you in managing your investment, you can give us a call at 910-236-9844 or visit us at 2529 Raeford Road, Unit C7 in Fayetteville, North Carolina. You can also contact us at www.linchpinpropertymanagement.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our social media channels as well as sign up for our newsletter to get weekly tips delivered to your inbox.